Hi, I'm Sarah Stern. I am a poet and the author of three poetry books. I'm very excited to be teaching this fall at Poet's House a poetry workshop on poetic form. It was hard for me to pick one poet, but I did pick Sharon Olds, someone who influenced me greatly. The poem I'm going to read by her is called The Race. The Race. When I got to the airport, I rushed up to the desk, bought a ticket. 10 minutes later, they told me the flight was canceled. The doctors had said my father would not live through the night, and the flight was canceled. A young man with a dark brown mustache told me another airline had a non-stop leaving in 7 minutes. See that elevator over there? Well, go down to the first floor, make a right. You'll see a yellow bus. Get off at the Pan Am terminal. I ran. I, who have no sense of direction, raced exactly where he told me, a fish slipping upstream deftly against the flow of the river. I jumped off the bus with those bags I had thrown everything into in 5 minutes and ran. The bags wagged me from side to side as if to prove I was under the claims of the material. I ran up to a man with a white flower in his breath. I, who always go to the end of the line, I said, "Help me." He looked at my ticket. He said, "Make a left, then a right, go up to the moving stairs, and then run." I lumbered up the moving stairs. At the top, I saw the corridor, and then I took a deep breath. I said, "Goodbye to my body, goodbye to comfort." I used my legs and heart as if I would gladly use them up for this, to touch him again in this life. I ran, and the bag banged against me, wheeled and coursed in skewed orbit. I have seen pictures of women running, their, their belongings tied in scarves, grasped in their fists. I blessed my long legs he gave me, my strong heart I abandoned to its own purpose. I ran to gate 17, and they were just lifting the thick white lozenge of the door to fit into the socket of the plane. Like the one who is not too rich, I turned sideways and slipped through the needle's eye. And then I walked down the aisle toward my father. The jet was full, and people's hair was shining. They were smiling. The interior of the plane was filled with a mist of gold endorphin light. I wept as people weep when they enter heaven in massive relief. We lifted up gently from one tip of the continent and did not stop until we set down lightly on the other edge. I walked into his room and watched his chest rise slowly and sink again. All night, I watched him breathe. Very poignant poem. I love the pace of this poem, and I often bring it to workshops and see how people respond to the momentum and the energy and all of the information that is packed into this 56 line, one stanza poem. I will read another poem it's my own poem from my book, We Have Been Lucky in the Midst of Misfortune. It's my last book. And it's also about a father, very different poem. It's called Father Turns 80. My father said he once saw Eleanor Roosevelt wearing a big hat, hurrying along 42nd Street. He also saw Winston Churchill getting out of a cab. He said his eyes were so blue, blue like he never had seen. He also talked about his Paris days when he was a student at the Sorbonne after the war, and how they loved Americans, especially him. Father said these things one Sunday afternoon. I looked at him and wondered, what will my children believe were my moments, stretching out behind them? What will they hold up and say, that was my mother's time? Thank you so much. I look forward to meeting you in this workshop and working together. Thank you.